Hi, I'm Lisa McHugh. I am a mixed animal veterinarian from the Lyman, Colorado area. Mixed animal meaning we deal with small animals, so your pets such as cats and dogs, and we also deal with the large animals as well. Right now we're doing a lot of cattle work going into the Christmas months, and next spring it'll be a lot of cattle work. But we look at llamas, horses, goats, sheep, so we are a mixed animal practice. We do work out of our clinic, so you can bring animals to us, or we can also come to you with our trucks. We have 2 veterinarians here and great staff. We have a certified veterinary technician, Devin Schinzel, which has been to these career fairs before. We've got him working this morning, and other certified veterinary technicians and lobby staff. So I graduated from a small town in Idalia, Colorado. Not very big, not very many people know about it, and there were 7 in my class. So if you talk to somebody that says that you come from too small of a school that you cannot go and do something that you have a passion for, I would disagree. From Idalia, I graduated many years ago, 1986. I then went to Colorado State University, did my undergraduate there, and then I was accepted into the veterinary school there in Fort Collins at Colorado State University and graduated in 1993. Length of time for education is dependent. Once you get into college, you'll have undergraduate classes, and that can take anywhere from 2 years up to however many years it takes. I did not have to get a bachelor's degree. I concentrated on those undergraduate classes, and then I applied to veterinary medicine, the professional program, and that is a 4-year degree, or a 4-year program to get your degree. With that 4-year program, I was able to come out into general practice and start working. It depends at that point whether or not you want to go into an internship or residency situation. So veterinary school can last anywhere between 6 years up to potentially 8 to 12, depending on what you want to do and what passion you have. So I came out to Eastern Colorado and raised a family here. I've got a husband who also works out in this area, not related to veterinary medicine, and I was able to raise 2 kids. One of the really nice things about coming back to agriculture is that we raised our kids with us going down the road. So sometimes you'll see them here as an assistant with veterinary medicine. How did I make the decision to go into this career field? It was kind of interesting. At first I wanted, at the time and my age at that point, I really wanted to go into Indiana Jones and go be an archaeologist. It just sounded like a lot of fun. However, in middle school, I was about 7th grade, I ended up helping one of our local veterinarians take an eye out of a cow. And he looked at me, and it was in July, and it smelled really bad. I felt really bad for the cow, and so did he. But after I helped him do that, he looked at me and he said, if you can handle doing that, you could be a veterinarian. And it just clicked. And as I looked back, I started recognizing I was the one that would help the calves that wouldn't nurse. I had the patience for that. If something needed to be treated, or if it smelled really bad, my dad was gone and I ended up doing it. So that's kind of just what clicked. And then there was a series of books, and nobody hears about them anymore. It was a series of books from James Herriot that it was All Creatures Great and Small, All Things Wise and Wonderful, All Things Bright and Beautiful, The Lord God Made Them All, or The Lord Made Them All. And I read those series of books, and again, it just clicked. I really enjoyed the stories in there. I could see myself doing that. But what I will preface this with is, if you think you want to be a veterinarian, or if you want to be an electrician, or you want to build houses, take time now to start spending time with those people. Find out that that is what you want to do. Get your feet wet. It helps tremendously. And you might find out that, oh, I do not want to work on cattle. I only want to work on lizards. So use that opportunity as you're in high school to do a little bit of job shadowing. What skills or personality traits are needed for our type of career? Communication is key. It also helps to be able to enjoy science. And yes, math. We do a lot of math. We administer medications all the time. We deal with anesthesia. Physics is highly important. And actually, physics is important with radiology as well. The one part people think about physics is, I have a cow that comes in that needs to have a calf. It takes physics to try to figure out how to deliver that calf. And then there's the medical knowledge on top of that if you have to do surgery. Being able to see spatially in your mind and try to picture things does help, but it's not necessary. So math, business classes, it is important. You will be running a business or helping to run a business. English skills, being able to write is important as well. So those are all, I know that doesn't bring it down very narrowly, but you need a broad-based education for veterinary medicine. Typical days. There are no typical days in veterinary medicine, especially in mixed animal. You never know what you're going to have. One of the things that I always go back to, and I've had great days, is the day, it was one spring many years ago, that we had small animal surgeries in the morning, and then we came to the middle of the day, and I believe I had a horse colic, if I remember right, and then somebody called with a cow that needed to have a surgery done to deliver the calf. And while we were cleaning up the surgery from the cow, so this is sitting like at about 4:30 in the afternoon, the calf was alive, by the way. I do remember that. The drains all backed up in the clinic, and we got a call about a duck that we had to see. First time I'd ever done anesthesia on a duck. The duck had a fish hook stuck in its tongue, and the first day I ever did anesthesia on a duck, we removed the fish hook and the duck recovered and was great. So that is probably one of those days I really remember. Approximate yearly entry level salary, anywhere between, I would say, $60,000, depending on what you want to do, up to $110,000, $120,000. Depends on what part of the country and what type of job you want to do. The biggest thing that I would say, again, get your feet wet. Go be with a veterinarian, and the future changes that I would anticipate in our type of career, I would say probably hard telling. The world is your oyster. I've had a professor that went up into the space shuttle, so who would have ever thought that's where veterinary medicine would have gone. So anyway, quickly, I've got some really fun things. I love science. This is a ringworm culture. So this is what a ringworm culture looks like when it's not been used. With time, and a positive ringworm, it changes it to pink and it grows little fuzzy stuff. So this is science in real life. We have a calf fetus here that's only 67 days. I don't know if you can see that. The mother died. That's how we got the baby. We've got a heart from a little dog that died of heartworm. There's little strands in here that look like spaghetti. That's a heartworm dog. A big tooth that came out of a 28-year-old horse, I believe it is, that we had to extract. So this is all stuff that we deal with. There is a fracture right here on this young dog that healed, and that dog is doing great now. This is what happens when you eat things that you shouldn't. This is what they call a trichobezoar that ended up killing a cow. And in here you can see some red stuff. That was twine of some kind that cow got a hold of. So if you enjoy science, if you enjoy medicine, give your local veterinarian a call. Thank you for your time. You guys have a great rest of your program.